this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. So today I'm just doing a little vlog, kind of a little update of what's going on here. I'm in deep South Texas and we did get that Texas winter storm. It's not as bad as it is up in the northern Texas area. Even in some parts like southern Texas, like San Antonio and on up. But like Houston, Dallas, all those places up north. Well, Houston's a little bit east. But anyway, you know, up north, Texas is probably where it hit the hardest. A lot of people without power. I'm hearing that some people are getting some power back. I'm not sure how much is happening now. But it did affect us a little bit. Some places here, some neighborhoods lost power. We never lost power in our neighborhood, or at least not in our house. My mom has been okay also. She's in a little neighborhood nearby where we are, and she's been okay too. But then like other neighborhoods, you know, adjacent to us, they were out of power. But I think they're okay now. The one thing that's kind of like really affected us is that there's just no food. There's no food in the stores. There's no meat. There's no dairy. There's no eggs. There's nothing. A lot of the canned stuff was gone. You know, things like that. You really don't want to get unless it's absolutely necessary. But my husband did go to the stores, and he did get, or to one store. He was looking for water. That water was really hard to find. I told him, yeah, you know, we have some water here. It's going to be okay. I'll boil some water. We have to. I just don't like the taste of the water that comes out of the faucet. Well, not the taste. I shouldn't say that I don't like the taste because it doesn't really have a taste. But if I make it cold and it tastes okay to me, I'll drink it if I have to like take it. Medicine or whatever, vitamins or whatever, but I like the taste of purified water because I don't even like spring water. I feel like, oh, it doesn't even have a little taste, or I like that little mineral taste, but that's just weird. That's just me. So I told my husband, okay, we got some little bottles here, we're gonna be okay. I'll boil water and, you know, make us feel like, oh yeah, we're drinking a cleaner water, but our water is drinkable. It's safe to drink. It's clean enough. But you know, sometimes you just feel like once you get used to drinking, you know, drinking water, buying purified water. And I used to have the Culligan water purifier in the bottom, but we were renting it, and we were renting it for so many years. I told my husband, you know, by now this thing should have been paid off. We should have bought it instead of rented. So we had that removed, and someday we'll replace that. We don't know when, but that'll happen. But anyway, but we've had running water, so you know. We don't have any pipes or anything that busted up. My mom did have one of her renters, and an outdoor pipe did kind of bust, but she went to go stay with her daughter. They turned off the water, so she's okay for a couple of weeks. That'll get fixed before that, actually. But we didn't have that problem. My husband did turn on the water like outdoors, like a little trickle, just to make sure things were okay, because we did get that freeze. But then we got one again. Sorry, we got one again last night. But we didn't get the frost. It was just freezing temperatures, but it wasn't like, you know, frozen outside. The last time was because we had so much drizzle. All that wetness and everything in the air just caused the ice to form, and then we had frost everywhere. Oh, sorry. I got a hair in my mouth, you guys. I had in the front, I have these plants called Ixora. They had icicles on them. And I feel so bad because I had been wanting to clean up in the front, and I wanted to cut them down like short, like really short, like maybe about so high or maybe a foot, because they're really big and they're getting like really branchy, kind of wild, and they don't look pretty. So I thought, well, I'm going to cut them down and let them grow back again. So I don't know. I'm hoping that this frost didn't kill them completely, but I'm still going to try and save them. Outside, my fox fern got a little bit affected. We've put them in a storage room now. What got really bad was my hibiscus plants. I think I had shown you where I had put some planters outside. If you haven't seen my video, my garden video where I put some planters, I bought some planters from Sam's. You want to go look at that so you know what I'm talking about. I had some big hibiscus there that I had trimmed down just so that I could fit these planters in that little section right next to them. And I had been thinking, you know what, maybe I'm just going to go ahead and cut them down so they'll, you know, get bushy from the bottom and grow back again. And it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do to them anyway. So I've got 4, 5 that look really sad. They look dark. They almost look like they're getting brown now, actually, so I know they're dead. So, but I'm wondering if the root and all that, the rest of it is still good. So I'm going to try and see that how I can save them. But I think I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. That was a thought, to just go ahead and pull them out and plant them somewhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and risk it, pull them out, repot them. You know, I'm going to trim them down, repot them, and see if I can save them and have them grow again, and then I can plant them somewhere else. I do have one right outside the door here, but you know, there's a brick wall there, so a lot of that blocked the north wind and all that cold air that was coming around, and it did block some of the icicles to form on the plants that are along there. So they look kind of okay, except the one way in the corner that got lots of drizzle, and it's one of those plants called the Mexican firecracker, I think it's called, but there's another name to it, but that's what we call it down here, a Mexican firecracker plant. And the majority of it looks purple. It's so dark. I'm looking at it, poor thing. The majority of it is purple. That thing grows like crazy, and I'm constantly trimming it down because we pass right by there, and then our cars are in the carport there. So I don't, you know, I keep trimming it because it grows, it overgrows, so I keep trimming it. But the part that's up against the wall that wasn't getting that wind coming around the corner, that's still green. So I'm just going to cut off all that black, and I see green on the very bottom of it, so I may just go ahead and also trim it down because I know that thing is just going to come back. So that's okay. So some succulents that I did have outside, and I don't know why I didn't think bring the succulents in. They don't look good. Some of them are just not, they're just not going to survive. So I'm going to go ahead, but my dad has tons of them, and his also, sadly, my dad wasn't able to go out there and cover things or bring things in, and I feel kind of bad that I didn't go over there and do something to help him. I just assumed other people would. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to go ahead and get some from him that did survive, that he had under his carport. But anyway, now my other plants that I had around on the grounds that I had done little new gardens, we threw some stuff over them. The roses are doing great. I think they like the cold. But I had covered everything with blankets and some old curtains that I had. We covered all of that up, and my husband's gone and uncovered it because the sun's out today. It is chilly outside. It is very deceiving. You see the sun, you think, oh my God, it's going to be toasty warm outside, and you walk outside, it's like, oh my God, I walked into a freezer. The wind chill is like, oh, and there's no drizzle, so it's not that bad. If it was drizzly, it would be horrible. But anyway, he uncovered them so that they could get sun. I had a lot of plants inside. Behind me, I had a ton of plants there. There's still some there on the floor, and then I have some here on my island, but some of these always stay here. But anyway, I put a lot of the plants outside to get sun, but it's cold out there. I'm just letting them get the sun, and then I'm going to move them a little bit because the house is starting to create a little shadow, and they need to be moved out a little bit more, and then I'll bring them in, probably like about 4 or 5-ish, because around 5:30 here it starts to get dark. Let's see what else. So like when I had those little kale plants, little kale cabbage plants that I planted outside that I bought at a clearance, those look pretty good. They look like they did well, and I think it's because I covered that. But 2 plants, and they're the I don't know if it's a coleus. What are they called? Coleus, maybe? I think that's what they are. I'm not really sure, you guys. But anyway, those are gonna have to go. They look dead to me. They don't look like they survived. They were covered, but they did not make it. The thing is that we had them in the ground, and we thought we could just cover them, but it didn't help. And I told my husband, I think it's because what we covered them was too light, and it was on them, and the wetness and all that, they just didn't like it. But there's other little plants that are out there that did really well, and they actually look even better. There's 2 little tomato plants that I had in those planters, and I haven't gone out to look at them. My husband said he's going to cover them, and I can see right now that he didn't. I'm just scared that they just didn't make it. They're so well covered. The stuff that I put in my little greenhouse, all of that is fantastic. What's mainly in there right now is some potted plants that I did have outside that were just too heavy to carry inside, that we just slid them in there. Like I had some mint that is doing great in there, and then I had other little pots like this that I had put seeds in, and some other smaller little containers that I put seeds in. They have not sprouted, so I went ahead and I left them out there. The only thing that I did have inside was these little greenhouse type. No, I don't know if you can see them behind me on the table right here. I'm in my pajamas, you guys. Excuse me. I have here kind of these little seedling or seed greenhouses, and those have been inside. But now, because it's been a week and I've been misting them, and I've had them covered. They've been inside. Maybe the warmth of the inside is too much for them. These cilantro here was looking fantastic. They're not doing good at all. The oregano, the majority of it is down. The sage is doing well. Most of my little eggplants are doing well. What I'm doing is I'm transplanting them now to these bigger pots, because I have big pots like this in the bathtub in my son's bathroom. I have them all over the floor and in the tub, and I switch them around. So I just fill the tub with a little bit of water so they can get water. Then I pull them out and I switch them around, and then I leave them there for a couple of days without having any. They're just getting the warmth, and I have the light on in there. I'm hoping that that helps, like have the light on, and then at night I turn it off so they think it's day, night. But I really don't know. I mean, these are not like natural light, but we'll see. Those plants are doing really well. And some of them got like really big. So I'm hoping that I can do the same with these. And then I'm just going to put them in there, you know, trade them off here and there. There are a couple of things in there that I put, like I put it in a little wagon when I was bringing everything in. They're in the wagon. They're inside the tub. Some of them are in the, on the floor or on the sink area. But the ones in the little wagon, some of them, they're just not doing too good. Some of them they were just like little cups of dirt with a seed. They hadn't sprung out yet. They haven't sprouted anything. My little sunflowers are not looking so happy. I'm pretty sure they want sun. So whatever is in like little tiny pots, I'm gonna put into these kind of pots, and I'm just gonna take them outside, give them a little sun. So that's what I'm gonna do today. All that talk to let you know what's going on, just because I was doing this and I thought, you know what, I'll just do a little video and talk about this. I did do a recipe video, and I explained why in my community page. Like I said, there's hardly any food to be you know, picking and thinking and being thoughtful about, oh, let me make a creative recipe. I guess I could have done a video on just whatever it is that I was going to make for dinner. But what did I make for dinner? Oh, actually that was really good what I made. But the fajitas were already pre-seasoned. They were marinated. I had bought a big package, like a family size package, and then I had cut it into 3 individuals so that then I could put them in the freezer for 3 different dinners. So I put one of those out, defrosted it, and that was already marinated, already seasoned. So I felt like, well, you can't really do a recipe on this. This is already done. So I just threw it in the oven. And then I had a package of frozen sliced yellow squash. And I had another one that's called a fajita mix, which is sliced bell peppers and sliced onions. These are all frozen. This is what my husband went to the store for, because I told him, just give me, if you can get some frozen items, just give me a bag here and there of some different things so we can have some vegetables, you know, for our food, because even like the fresh stuff wasn't very full, kind of getting empty in the store. So he got me that, and I thought, you know, it'll last a little longer maybe because it's frozen in case we lose power, but we haven't, so that's a good thing for us. Very thankful about that. So I planted one while I've been talking. Just one, I've gotten that far. Okay, but anyway, I have those other ones. I'm gonna continue doing that. So that's what I made for dinner. I just put the fajitas, the piece. I had a big piece of a flank steak is what it was. I put that in the oven, and I just let that, you know, like 30-40 minutes at the most. It cooked in there, and then I did the yellow squash with the bell pepper, onion, on the stove. I threw them in there while they were frozen, and then I threw some water in. I got some chicken bouillon and put it in the water. That's how I seasoned it, and it all came out really nice, really tasty. Let me see which other one looks good to save here. These eggplants, some of these they grew, but the little tips of them are black, so I'm thinking they died on me. They dried up, so I wanted to save the ones that looked like they were going to be okay. This one has a little green leaf on it, but the other 2 next to it are, you know, they're not going to make it. I'm just going to leave them in there though, because there'll be nutrients for the little dirt, for the ground. Okay, but this one's got a little green leaf, so I'm going to go ahead and plant that one and just tear off this little mesh a little bit. There we go. I got this ladle from the Dollar Tree, and when I had done my my son, I think it was my son's baby shower or my niece's, I don't even remember. I bought a ton of stuff like this from the Dollar Tree, and I still had it in the packaging. I never used it. So I was in my garage, and I was like, oh, I have these, and then I got this little box so the dirt would fall in here, although I've got dirt everywhere. So I'm using that to use it to grab the soil from this gigantic bag that took me forever to slide in here. And then I have a cloth on the floor. I don't know if I mentioned that. Did I mention that I have a cloth on the floor for dirt to fall? And I'm actually pretty clean down there. Everything's a mess up here. But that's what I'm doing, you guys. It's a Friday, and I decided that, you know, I didn't have a recipe yesterday. I didn't do a video. And honestly, because this weather has not been very good for me. I've been mostly stiff more than pain. I've been very stiff. It's been hard for me to move. But I said, I need to get up. I need to do something. I'm looking at my little plants, and I'm not happy with the way they look. The sun is out, and I started doing all that. I got a little exercise. So I actually feel a little bit better. So that is why I'm doing this. And I'm about to run out of time on my camera. So a little cut right here. Okay, so my camera went out on me, and I could see that it was going to go out on me. But I don't know if it caught where I was saying that the winter weather, this cold, has gotten to me. It's made me very stiff, more stiff than, you know, than having any kind of pain. I have RA, in case some of y'all are wondering why. But anyway, and I also have gout, so that's weird. But anyway, I have that, and then of course I have my psoriasis. Oh my God, I don't want to say psoriasis. I can't even think, you guys. This muscle here, this little, whatever this is, this, not a muscle, but it's like a nerve. Yeah, I pulled that some time ago, and it just acts up ever so often. I also have my left heel, the back, where the, right above the, you know, the heel, behind the ankle, I guess it should be. One day I was stepping down, going outside, and my, you know, the foundation of my house is concrete. Stepping down onto concrete. Here's the concrete foundation on the edge going down, and I stepped down, and I didn't step like to clear, but I stepped like this, so the back of my foot, my ankle, my heel scraped onto that edge of the cement, and since then I've gotten a little bump, and I haven't had that looked at, to be honest with you. And I thought, oh, because this is that's the person that I am. I get hurt, you know, I just take it. You know what I mean? I'm one of those people. I'm sure you know, maybe you are too. You just have a high pain threshold, and it doesn't mean that you don't feel pain. It just means that you can tolerate it more than a lot of people. So I tolerate pain, and I don't, you know, I don't think much about it. So, you know, I let things go. So now, couple, I don't know, it's been like 3 years now, ever so often that acts up, and it's so painful. It's crazy. It's gotten to the point where, okay, I'm gonna go have that looked at and see if anything can be done, because it gets, you can tell the foot gets swollen more than the other foot, the ankle especially. Then I have that little bump in the back. Sometimes when I want to wear my shoes, that is rubbing against the shoe, and it's quite painful. Okay, so I've got those. This is sage, so they look different from the eggplant, so I'm sure I'm not going to mix that up. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this, I had some hot peppers in this big long planter. My spinach out there is doing good, but the peppers did not do good. And I brought that in here, and my cat peed in it, and it had little plants, and they're all, you know, they're gone now. I thought they would maybe survive the situation. I put that outside now, but they look, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and let them go, and I'm probably just going to toss out the soil and get some nice clean soil, and put some of these plants in there. Maybe my heirloom tomato, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you guys, so I'm kind of down, very down, because of my little plants. So how are you guys feeling? I'm very, you know, just wondering, like, oh, here I am, crying. But you guys are in dire conditions. Some of you, like, further up north, that you guys are used to, or or maybe not so used to, but you know, to be a little bit more prepared for winter storms. How are you guys doing? Are things okay for you guys? Let everybody know, everybody in the comments, so the rest of us, you know, or all of us, you know, those of us who can offer you prayer or some sort of thoughts and well wishes, we can send that positive energy to you. So we'll give each other positive energy. Now, some people have, because I put it on my community page, you know, the reason why I wasn't doing a video yesterday, blah, 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 and all the stuff. So I got some really nice little comments, but some of those people are also here in Texas, and they're going through some of the stuff I am, or worse. And, but I didn't get too many people like from somewhere else maybe, and I'm hoping that you are all doing okay, you're doing well. Like I said, we're okay so far, everything's fine, and I'm hoping all this is not going to last very long. It looks like maybe Tuesday of this coming week, this is Friday, it looks like that's going to be a little bit better, the weather, like it's going to warm up a little bit more. I don't know. I'm also expecting my son to drive down here from California, or drive over here from California, and I'm a little bit concerned how our gas situation is going to be there, because really the longest, I don't know how California, Arizona, and New Mexico are doing, so forgive me, but I'm hoping they're okay. But it seems like here in Texas, you know, this winter storm really affected Texas, and it affected us in the way that we're not prepared for that. We're not used to, we're not prepared for that. So our system, our green, you know, system did not work for us. It failed us. But I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, yeah, so I'm concerned about him because he's going to cross through Arizona, New Mexico, and but when he gets here to Texas, I'm hoping that you know, the gas will be replenished in some way, because he's going to have to gas up, and it's the longest drive through Texas to get to us here in deep South Texas on his drive. So pretty much driving all across Texas, and it's a long way. It's like 13 hours of drive. So I'm hoping that by then the situations won't be so bad that he'll be able to stop at some place on the road and get refuel. I don't think he has to do it too often, from what I've understood, maybe a couple of times or so. But still, you want to make sure that he's not driving and, oh no, this station is closed or pumps are closed. You know what I mean? I don't want that to happen to him, but my husband and I are like, well, what can we do? Like, are we going to drive and meet him? What is that going to do? Are we going to have gas to go and meet him? I don't know. That was one thing that I did do yesterday. I did go and gas up my vehicle because my husband told me, hey, down the road, the store that's called the Stripes, he said, the pumps are open. There's cars, but there's not that much. Not like the day before. It was like lines all the way, like 2-hour waiting on some places, like Sam's and all those places. They were just completely packing you, just waiting for hours, a couple of hours or so. But anyway, and it wasn't just because people were gassing up their vehicles. They were putting gas in their in tanks, and like in their different jugs for gas. They were filling that up as well because some people they don't have their electrical, so they're going to use their gas powered either generators or stoves and things like that. We're all electrical here in our house, so the only gas we need is for our vehicles. So I was not going anywhere in my car, except that my husband said, hey, you want to do this? Or like he would do it when he got out of work. But I thought, by the time he gets out of work, it's going to be getting dark. And I felt, you start getting that guilt. Like, why does my husband have to do this? Guys, is this a eggplant? Yes, it is. These are the sage. Anyway, why my husband has to do that when I can just force myself to do it? So that's when I also decided to go visit my mom and my dad. And I saw all of his beautiful garden, all of his plants. I just felt so like, oh, my dad, so much hard work and so much energy that he puts into that I mean, what I've done, I felt bad for me, like, oh my God, look at all the work I've done and all this, you know, whatever. I can feel sorry for myself all I want, but you know what happens is that you go and you just open your eyes to other people and you realize, why am I crying about myself when somebody else has got it worse? And oh my God, what little loss I have of plants, I'm not even going to cry about, because I wanted to pull out those hibiscus from there. Anyway, I was thinking about cutting them down. I thought, well, I'm going to reorganize everything, my planters, because I don't like them coming all the way out there. I can't walk through there, blah, blah. A whole bunch of stuff. Like, oh my God, that's my big problem, you guys. That's my huge problem. But then I go over there and I see years of my father gardening, of him building these beautiful wood planters for some things. They're heavy. He can't carry them inside. But the things that he had in pots could have been carried inside. Now he's got a beautiful section where he had all these desert roses. Some of them were planted in the ground and some of them were in pots, and they're looking sad. But I'm hoping, what I want to do is I would like to go over there and see if I can save those desert roses. Just pull them out, cut them, do what I have to do, put them in the garage, follow. This is one lady. It's called Maria's Garden. Maria's Garden. If you look her up on YouTube, lovely lady. She's in Florida. She's a Mexican lady. She's in Florida. She's just a wonderful just to even watch. She's entertaining as it is. But if you go to her YouTube channel, you're going to learn a lot of things. So I've learned quite a few things about the desert roses, which by the way, mine are inside right now and they are blooming. So if you'll excuse my pajamas, I'm going to grab one so you can see. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out because I don't want... Anyway, this is my one of my desert roses. I have two. The other one is not blooming yet, but it's got new leaves, and they didn't have any leaves at all. And look, this one's got some flowers that it's about to just bloom. And it looks like it's going to be some sort of a pink. I know that I had one when I bought them. I had one that was like a deeper color, so maybe it's the other one. And I had this... I was telling my husband, I thought I had 3 of these and I only have 2. So now I'm thinking, I think the other one is in the little greenhouse, you guys. I'm going to go check it. And then I have, this is the crown of Jesus, La Cruz, La Corona de Jesus. I have this one. And my dad had tons of these, you guys, and they're all like drooping down. And I'm feeling so sad, but I'm going to look that up and see if they can be saved. Or what is it that I have to look for them to know that they're still good and be saved? And I'm just going to go help them because I guess I'm the only one interested in doing anything about that. That's all I'm going to say. And if you're watching, no. Anyway, but yeah. I'm going to see if he wants my help. Maybe he'll be like, by the time I get there, maybe he just pulled everything out and he's already thrown everything away, because that's just the way my dad, I guess that's kind of where I get it from. Like, I don't ask for help. I don't wait for help. I just like, this is what I'm going to do, and I've just done it. So, and that's not a good thing. Sometimes you got to have people, let people help you. But, you know, how can I control it? And I can tell him, I'm going to come over and I'm going to help you. And he'll be like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I'll show up and he's whatever, it's already been done. Both my mom and my dad. My dad more than my mom, but yeah, that's my dad. And that's me. So anyway, you guys, give each other lots of love, lots of positive energy, send blessings to each other, and just be loving and understanding towards each other. I love you all very much. Lots of kisses, lots of hugs to you. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up, and I hope that YouTube will give me a big old thumbs up. And you know what? Hit that little notification bell after you subscribe so that you get notified of when I put up videos, which is twice a week. Make sure you follow me on Trisha's Creations on Facebook. And as always, enjoy.